The nation adored her, but the Queen Mother had a tumultuous relationship with her son-in-law, Prince Philip. So let's shed some light on their bitter clashes, which were rooted in her disdain for German heritage. Despite her public persona as the grandmother of the nation and Britain's most loved woman, privately she earned a different moniker, the mother-in-law from hell. In 1946, when Prince Philip, the golden-haired, blue-eyed prince, sought her daughter's hand in marriage, she saw him not as a suitor, but as a German interloper. This sentiment coloured their relationship for decades, revealing a stark contrast to her beloved public image. Though a Greek prince by title, Prince Philip hailed from German-Danish roots, bearing the surname Schleswig-Holstein-Sonderburg-Glucksburg. This heritage didn't sit well with the Queen Mother, who harboured a strong dislike for Germans, especially given the recent wounds of World War II. Philip's connections didn't help. Some of his brothers-in-law had even worn Nazi uniforms. Princess Elizabeth fell for Philip despite these tensions when they met at the Royal Naval College in Dartmouth in 1939. She was 13 and he was 18. Their bond grew, and in 1946, just a year after the war ended, Philip proposed. He renounced his titles, became Philip Mountbatten, and they married in 1947. This union marked the beginning of a complex relationship within the royal family. Let's now unveil the Queen Mother's unwavering stance towards her son-in-law, Prince Philip. Despite his famous prickly temper and candid nature, Philip's marriage to Elizabeth had endured, a testament to their complex relationship. In this video, we aim to capture these stark divisions within the House of Windsor, brought to light after King George VI's death in February 1952. His reign, which began after the abdication of his elder brother Edward VIII in 1936, lasted 15 dutiful yet unremarkable years. The king, weakened by ill health and a debilitating stammer, was overshadowed by his wife, Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, the future Queen Mother. Elizabeth, a determined Scottish woman, often dismissed by Wallis Simpson as that fat Scotch cook, had effectively controlled her husband's reign. As a widow at 51, she found it impossible to relinquish her influence, even as history shifted focus to her 25-year-old daughter, now Queen Elizabeth II. Her influence was so significant that it shaped the early years of her daughter's reign, often leading to clashes with Prince Philip's modernising vision. Prince Philip, meanwhile, faced his challenges as the new Prince Consort. Though reluctant to abandon his naval career, he accepted his role with a sense of duty. He wanted to modernise the monarchy, which he saw as outdated. One striking example of this antiquated system was sending footmen with handwritten notes through Buckingham Palace's labyrinth corridors instead of using the telephone. These scenarios vividly depict a royal family grappling with change, as Philip's modernising vision clashed with the Queen Mother's traditionalist approach. This tension underscored the personal and institutional struggles that shaped Queen Elizabeth II's early years, offering a compelling glimpse into the dynamics behind the palace doors and evoking empathy towards her personal struggles. When modernising the monarchy, Prince Philip saw many traditions that needed to be updated or discarded. He believed that savings could be made and the outdated mindsets of the palace staff needed to change. However, his mother-in-law, the Queen Mother, staunchly opposed any alterations. She believed that if it wasn't broken, there was no need to fix it. Despite being offered Clarence House as her new home, the Queen Mother declared it was too small after Buckingham Palace. This move, or lack thereof, left Prince Philip frustrated, as she stayed on at the palace months after King George VI's death. It wasn't until the heating was turned off in her rooms that she finally moved out. Who ordered that? One might wonder if Philip had a hand in it. The rivalry between Prince Philip and the Queen Mother had only just begun. She insisted that her daughter's reign replicate King George's in every way, starting with the coronation ceremony. Although Philip was made chair of the coronation committee, the real work was handled by the Duke of Norfolk, a close ally to the Queen Mother, who was determined to keep things unchanged. Attempting to find his role, Philip visited Commonwealth troops set to line the coronation route. He arranged for a helicopter trip only to have the Queen Mother quash the idea with the help of Prime Minister Winston Churchill. She found the notion of him travelling by helicopter too common and unregal, leaving Philip with little to do. It was reported how upsetting it was for the Queen Mother to see power shift to her daughter. Deferring to the new Queen was a bitter pill, and Philip bore the brunt of her disappointment. Their disagreements extended to the selection of the official coronation photographer. Philip preferred Baron Nahum, but the Queen Mother insisted on Cecil Beaton, known for his elegant portraits of her over the years. Nahum's reputation for hosting risque parties only fueled her determination. But these disagreements were just one of many instances where their visions for the monarchy had clashed. Philip wasn't alone in facing opposition. Sir Alan Lascelles, private secretary to King George VI and Queen Elizabeth II, disapproved of him. Lascelles was appalled when Philip criticised the slow pace of life at Buckingham Palace, sensing the winds of change Philip wanted to bring and disliking it intensely. His disapproval added another layer of complexity to this already tense relationship between Philip and the Queen Mother. Initially, Queen Elizabeth II seemed to support her husband's vision, even agreeing that the royal family should take his name, Mountbatten. However, she did nothing to implement it, wary of upsetting the traditionalists who supported her reign. Thus, Philip's attempts at reform were thwarted, with his wife siding with the old guard and his mother-in-law maintaining control. Frustrated, Philip joined the Thursday Club, a luncheon group that included actors like James Robertson Justice and Peter Ustinov, and Soviet spy Kim Philby. Rumours of wild parties reached the ears of the Queen Mother, Churchill and Lascelles, tightening the scrutiny on Philip. Meanwhile, the Queen Mother was appointed a Councillor of State by her daughter. She performed state functions and attended Privy Council meetings, a powerful position never before held by a Dowager Queen. Philip watched helplessly as she built her power base, diminishing his own influence and intensifying the conflicts within the royal family. Yet Philip managed to win a significant victory, televising the coronation. Despite the Queen Mother's and Churchill's objections, Philip succeeded with the help of BBC spin doctors. The televised event was a success, but a small gesture during the ceremony captured the ongoing tension. After the Queen was crowned, Philip leaned in to kiss her cheek, an unrehearsed gesture that visibly displeased her, knowing her mother would disapprove. As time passed, the Queen Mother's grip on her daughter loosened due to the demands of the office. Philip, always by his wife's side, became her mainstay. Reluctantly, the Queen Mother began to build a life that no longer revolved around advising her daughter daily. Though much loved by the nation, the Queen Mother's relationship with Philip remained strained. What Philip honestly thought of her remains a mystery, but the struggle between modernity and tradition they embodied continues to fascinate. If you loved our video into this family feud, you won't want to miss this next one. Click on the screen now to explore the untold stories and hidden secrets of another fascinating figure with a story to tell. Get ready to uncover more historical gems and intriguing royal tales. Your next adventure in history starts right here.